Hi, it's Kim. I wanted to offer you a video on drawing a histogram in Chapter 2. You'll note that histograms are talked about in the very first section of Chapter 2, and they're a way to visualize our data. I'd also like to let you know that you always have this resource called StatCrunch commands that give you the directions for using StatCrunch. So for instance, we're going to draw a histogram, and I'm going to follow these 3 steps. I'm going to name the column variable, I'm going to select graph and histogram, I'm going to know where my bins start at, choosing a class width, etc. So I selected this homework problem. This is problem 21 in your homework set. It gives us some raw data. I'm going to open it in StatCrunch. And notice the first thing I'm going to do is change that to textbook price. And then I want to go to graph, histogram. I'm going to want to have a histogram of that data. This is where I need to work a little bit because I want these to match my choices. So let's just pick, it looks like all of my choices look the same as far as the x-axis and y-axis go. So let me just make this bigger. And I notice that I have 30, then I have 60 and 90. So that means this is 45. That means this is 15. So it looks like I'm starting at 5. And the length of this is 15. So I'd get to 20 there. Looks like my bin width is 15. So let's try that again. So I'm going to close that down, go back into my StatCrunch. I'm going to start at 5, and I'm going to select a bin width of 15. Then I'm going to hit compute. And I'm going to see if any of these look like what I drew, and it looks like B looks like what I drew. Now you did read that if you change the starting point and bin width, that really makes your histogram look different. So I'm going to go ahead and mark B, choice B, and check that. We did great. And then I'm going to go back here and I'm going to show you what happens if we change our bin width, how different this can look. I click Options, Edit, and let's say I change my width to 22. Notice how different it looks. I no longer have these 2 regions right here. And so, depending on how I want my data to look, I can manipulate it a little bit by adjusting those bin widths.